right, here we are heading out of Neel Gap. It is day 3. As I didn't do a wrap-up last night, I meant to, and forgot. As you can see, we stayed at Neel Gap. We stayed in the hostel there. So there were probably 6 or 8 other people there. Heading out. Now it's supposed to rain sometime tonight. It's supposed to get a good bit of rain. So the plan right now is head to Neel Gap shelter. It's about 11 miles. And we'll reassess at that point, more than likely. Probably try to stay there. I think it's going to be more like evening rain. And then we hike tomorrow. We'll go from there. That's what we got. There's a little climb right out of Neel Gap. Neel Gap is 5.5 miles. So here we go, day 3. Entering the Raven Cliffs Wilderness. Out of the Blood Mountain Wilderness. All right, here we are. Walking on this ridge. I don't know if you can hear the wind. I don't have my microphone set up. But just real windy and breezy. Walking on this ridge. But not too bad. See the mist go across. They say it should be cloudy today like this. There's a storm coming in later today, tonight. So temperature's gonna remain fairly constant. It's not gonna get too cold tonight, maybe mid-40s. That's because all the cloud cover. So that's the good news. Bad news is rain. But hopefully it should be after we're at camp and protected. And hopefully the rain should stop in the morning. Around, by the time we have to break camp. So if that happens, that's cool. And tomorrow there's some, scattered storms possible from what it looks like. That'll be day 4. I think we'll probably wind up on day 5 getting into Hiawassee. It's just the way everything's working with the weather and mileage and stuff like that. Looks like we'll probably hit town on day 5. All right, before it gets too windy, I'm gonna turn this off. All right, here's us a little view. All right, here we are at the top of some point. I don't know where it is, but we're heading down to Neel Gap. So we got to down to the gap and then we climb back up. But this is our view. Pretty good view considering the cloud cover. Still see. All right, we go down this way. All right. All right, so we're almost to the top of the climb coming out of Neel Gap. I think we just have to go up there. Basically, we see the trees kind of break. And then we got a short down to Hogpen Gap, and we saw a paper plate down at Neel Gap on the ground that said Trail Magic at Hogpen today, Tuesday. So we should be able to get some trail magic as we get there. See, there's a guy up there that's been hiking around us. So when we get there, we'll get some trail magic. It's good. It's right 12:08 right now. So I don't know what kind of trail magic it's going to be, but whatever, it's going to be good. Can you say trail magic? Here we come. All right, there you go. You never know what you find on trail. So we just got done down there with the trail magic. So we had cheeseburgers, hot dogs, they had donuts, sodas, coffee, you know, whatever. What'd you have?
Hot dog and 2 hamburgers.
So he did the same thing I did. 2 cheeseburgers and a hot dog. And I had a Mountain Dew. And Chill Guy had a root beer. And they had like a little propane fire. So we were able to sit around the fire. And they served us our food. Good stuff. Met a bunch of other hikers, maybe half a dozen or so more, to include a gentleman from Sweden who we've been kind of hiking around this morning. And now we got 4.4 miles to Neel Gap shelter. So that's our destination for tonight. It's a little chilly. It's supposed to rain, so we're just kind of waiting. Hopefully the rain, get different reports, but I think it won't come until tonight. So that'd be good. We'll be hunkered down before the rain comes. So that's that. All right, that's good for now. Here's another one. Somebody's stalking us. All right, here we are. We just summited the last peak for the day. So we're going down now. We got 0.8 of a mile, 0.8 of a mile to Neel Gap shelter. That's where we're gonna stay. We're probably gonna get there 3:20-ish, 3:25 early day, especially since we had that big trail magic. But, you know, the way the miles work out, and all that, it really doesn't matter. We could push a couple more miles and it doesn't really do much. We're still looking, you know, we're still gonna have to hike tomorrow and at least all morning the next day and into the early afternoon, and then go in. Then we'll be at Dix Creek Gap to go into Hiawassee. So if you push a little bit more today, maybe you just make tomorrow a little bit shorter. Tomorrow we're planning on doing a good solid 15 or so. Maybe you make that shorter, or if you still, you know, push further, you know, you just make that last day going into town a little shorter, get an extra hour or two in town, which we're still going to get into town at a decent hour. So no big deal. It's kind of good. Yesterday was kind of a rough day. There were some rocky climbs, and especially the rocky descent out of Blood Mountain kind of beat you up a little bit. So it was good to get a good night's sleep last night, basically being prone for 10 hours last night in a bed, helps with recovery. And then doing like what's going to turn out to be, I think, a 11.8 mile day, so almost a 12 mile day today. And then we got food at that resupply, or that Trail Magic. I said I had 2 cheeseburgers and a hot dog. So, and I wasn't even stuffed. So you need that for recovery. And today's kind of, you know, not a short day by any means, but for, you know, for us, kind of a short day. But that'll give us a little bit more recovery. So for this first, you know, week, we're trying to put decent miles, but also don't go crazy. You know, allow some recovery so that our body can start adapting to the trail and we don't get like some instant overuse injuries. But other than that, we feel pretty good. Calves tend to be tight, but, you know, got to roll out, do that kind of stuff when we get to the shelter. But you see what it looks like. Every once in a while we'll feel a little mist. That's it. Like I said, there's been about 5 different weather reports on when we're gonna get some rain, so who knows. So getting in now and being able to either get a spot in the shelter or, worst case scenario, get the tent set up. As long as we do that before we get rain, everything else is gravy after that. All right, so this may be the last video for the day, because I don't know how much I'll film at the shelter. I don't like to film too much at the shelter if there's a bunch of people there. Same thing with the trail magic. I don't like to really film trail magic. I'm there to kind of get to know people, talk to people, and especially people that have gone out of their way to provide food to total strangers. You don't want to just be pulling out your phone and, hey, can I get you on my vlog? You know, it's much better just to actually talk to people and put the phones away for a while. So, all right, so this might be it for the night. If it is, good night from day 3. If it isn't, you'll see me in about a half a second.